Drusilla is here. It's very nice to see you all as well. And also we have what's that? Atashi. Oh my God, can't pronounce that. But I hope I'm not butchering this. Atashi.
Okay, Arthur, we're live on YouTube as well. Let me just say hello to everybody here. Welcome, everyone. So, Arthur, why don't you start us up and we can get started.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. If it is Tuesday, you should be here because this is one of the most powerful calls that we have in the company. And we are here with a man who has a lot of love and who has a lot of power, and he's making sure that he gives it and he shares it with as many persons as possible. And I just really want to introduce him in a few minutes, but I really want to congratulate you for making some time to be on the call. You can be on YouTube or you can be on Zoom. You have the option, and it's still early in the presentation tonight. So you can call someone up. You can text your downline site, and you still have some time to do that. But I really want to, if you are coming to the call for the very first time, we want to talk about a young man, and this young man doesn't age at all. This young man has had many years of experience in direct sales. I think almost 30 years of experience. And he has been a winner from a very early age. I think from 16 years he has been winning. And he has been a wrestling champion. And he has a lot going for him. He has never stopped getting awards and also receiving all of the accolades, even in his young age of just over 50, right? He's still getting some great things going. He has been the visionary, the architect behind the opulence philosophy, and he's also a compensation plan expert, but also he is a forensic expert as that. That's why we are on this call tonight. So he's no other than our CEO and our founder, and if I have to continue talking about his accolades, we will be here all night. But I know he has a passion as an entrepreneur. He wants to make sure that every average entrepreneur is able to hit a financial home run. And that's his heart, that's his passion, that's his love for us. And I'll say to you, it's a privilege. Most persons are in the 8 to 9, the 8 to 4, 9 to 5. I'm not there. But some persons are in this area and have never seen the boss, have never seen the CEO, or they have never had time to really maybe sit down, have a cocktail, have a drink, even have a dance. And the persons like us are privileged to have had the opportunity to be in the presence of greatness, I would say. And God has blessed you, Mr. Ramin Masgalo, and you are changing lives around the world, right here in the Caribbean on my small island, 238 square miles. Welcome to the call, Mr. Ramin Masgalo, CEO himself.
Thank you very much, Arthur. You're just such a superstar. I mean, you should get this job permanently, I think. And, you should get this. When you're too good, then you get the job, right? So you get the job. All right. So tonight's an important call. So if you know anyone that's in business, traditional business, you want to right now be on a text message and get them on this call. Tonight we're going to talk about traditional businesses versus the MLM businesses, because we always run into people who have businesses and they kind of don't get the MLM business. So this call is for them. Make sure. So right now, easiest way to do this, guys, just go on YouTube and to take the link. It's very easy to share. I'm live on YouTube right now. As usual, when you get on YouTube, you like, you subscribe, you hit the bell button, make it blue so you get all the notification. You comment, you share, and we're going to cover lots of points today. So every time I make a point, I want both chats blowing up, right? So when I make a comment, I want you to tell me how you feel about that comment so participate. Let's blow up this chat. If I'm working hard, I want you to be working hard with me. So let's get started. Traditional businesses versus MLM. I don't know if you guys know, I started in the traditional business. And so if you can maybe mute yourselves. I'm hearing some stuff coming from the Zoom side. All right. So I started traditional businesses, so I'm very well know. I mean, I know the business very well. Before, when I first started as a young man, I run other people's traditional businesses. Then I started my own with the family. We had in the restaurant business. I know all about it. So tonight we're going to talk about traditional businesses versus the advantage of traditional business versus MLM. I should say the disadvantages. I should be saying that because traditional businesses has some advantages over jobs, and I have talked about there are some advantages over MLM as well. But those are type of advantages that we can actually implement in our method of distribution, which is multi-level marketing or direct sales or e-commerce business. But they cannot, traditional businesses, we have tons of advantages that traditional businesses cannot implement in their method of distribution. There's tons to talk about. So let's just get started. Again, as you come, I see there's a lot more people online on YouTube than likes, so make sure, scroll down, click the like button. If you don't see it, that means you haven't logged in. You have to log into YouTube or your Gmail account, and you'll get to see the like button. Make sure you subscribe. All right, so let's talk about traditional business versus MLM. If you know someone who has a traditional business, any type of traditional business, get them on this call. Get them on this call or get them this link. So very first thing we want to talk about, if you own a traditional businesses, you have to worry about a hell of a lot of things. So I'm going to put you in the mindset as a traditional business person. What the first thing you think about if you own a traditional business, like, okay, will I meet the rent this month? Because that's one of the first things you worry about because you have a physical location, it's a brick and mortar. But in MLM, you don't have that, that worry, right? We do business and we don't have to worry about our rent for the business because we work from home. Next thing, will I have good products today? Is the food going to be good? If you're in a restaurant business or if you have new inventory that come in, are they going to be good? You see, with us, when I was in the pizza business, we always ordered from the same cheese or mozzarella or, pepperoni, whatever. Guess what? It was never always the same. They brought you what they had, right? Or is a batch. Is a vegetable going to be good today? If you're selling stuff, you bring new inventory. Is the product going to be good? See, you have all of these worries as a business owner. You don't have those business in these type of worries from the MLM business, or because we do all the work. We do the QC. It's a unique product and it's the same product, and you don't have to worry about that. Is a niche batch going to be different? Then because it goes through a very stringent, very stringent, stringent requirement before it's released. But when you're a traditional business, you buy from all kind of wholesalers, and wholesalers don't do any QCs or have stringent products. They don't have that. You try to find the lowest wholesaler. Wholesalers try to find the lowest manufacturer, another wholesaler. So lowest. What you're getting is pretty much the lowest of the lowest, and you have tons of problems when it comes down to traditional businesses. Even if the companies that are selling high-end product as well, again, things come up. Mercedes has recalls, right? Things come out, and you have, so when you're selling a product in a traditional business, and you're always worried, okay, because they're also using so many different manufacturers. If you're in a traditional business, you're not using one manufacturer, right? Like we do here, us, Opulence. You're using multiple manufacturers. So you're always worried if the product I'm selling now, is it going to be a problematic product? You'd be always worried about, will I be busy today? You open the door because you're waiting for traffic to walk in, right? You always wonder, will I be busy today? Are we going to have a good business? Are we going to have a lot of traffic? You know what? In MLM, we don't do that. In MLM, you control that. You decide, if I'm going to get up today, I'm going to open my MoBox and I'm going to smile on that. You have full control on how busy you're going to be today. In traditional businesses, you don't have that control. In traditional businesses, you show up and you hope that you're going to have a good day. And I can tell you that's stressful. It's stressful because it is completely out of your control. So again, every point I'm making, I want you to comment in on both chat groups. Blow it up. Tell me how that sits with you And what are your thoughts about each comment? So again, will I be busy today? You get that in traditional businesses. You don't get that in MLM because you decide if you're going to be busy today. There's some of the things, regulatory stuff, will I get audited? Because traditional businesses, you know how it is. Most traditional businesses try to find ways to reduce expenses because it's expensive to operate a traditional business, right? And because they have access and ability and capability, and they could a lot of times, or they take shortcuts, and they always worry, or worse, or maybe they not even taking shortcuts, but there's a lot of, the tax code is pretty intense. So a lot of people don't even know what they're doing, even if you have an expert doing it. So you're always wondering, are they going to walk in one day? In MLM, you don't do that. In MLM, you do your business. You have a back office with full of information, everything you need. And if you happen to be in Canada, we issue a T4 anyways. And then it's all done for you. In the traditional businesses, you have to do all of that work. You have this worry. So will the staff do a good job today, right? In traditional business, you have to be there all the time, because it doesn't matter who you got. Chances are, they're not going to do the job that you do. It's rare that you find someone who can do the job that you do. You always have that worries. In MLM, you have no employees. You don't have to worry about that. So look at the two sides. One side has a traditional business, has all these worries, going every single. I'm putting in the mindset of a traditional business every single. Are the staff going to do a good job today? Are they going to piss anybody off today? Are they going to do good customer service? Right? You don't have that in MLM. Because MLM, it's you, and the company handles everything else, including drop ship. So you have our company, our warehouses around the world that are your employees, and we have a very strict mandate of how we do things same way. And it's a corporation, very professional, versus employees that kind of come in moody. They're not really professional, and you're hoping if they're doing a good job or not. If you're a traditional business, you always worry about, will there be another competition moving in, going after more customers, or do I have to split customers? I can tell you, in Canada, the hottest business in Canada is a coffee shop called Tim Hortons. Now, even if you're not in Canada, you know about it, because they're just so big here. It's like a culture. It's not a coffee shop. It's like a culture. And I have some friends who own some of those Tim Hortons coffee shops, and they always worry if there's going to be competition. And guess what? The competition is not even other companies. The competition is Tim Hortons themselves, because if you're in a location and you do over X amount in sales, the company themselves open up another location 2 blocks down the street, but you get the first shot, of course, to spend another $2 million to buy it if you want. If not, someone else gets it. So if you're a traditional business, if you do a really, really good job, right, your business is doing good, you're always wondering, if the competition going to move in, whether it's from your own company, if it's a franchise basis, or if it's somebody else who sees that you're doing very well and they come in. You don't have that in MLM, right? You don't have the MLM. We don't worry about competition. If anything, we're out there creating competition, which is a good competition. We're out there recruiting, right? We don't see them as competition. If you go to a meeting, there's 100 people there, and it could be 10 different teams. We're happy there's 100 people there, because there's strength in numbers. In MLM, we don't see each other as competition, right? Because we're not. We got such a vast business, which is global. We don't even think about competition. We come in, if anything, it encourages us when we see more and more people are getting into the business. We get motivated by that. Not in traditional business. You worry about competition. So another thing is, you always wonder if you have a traditional business, how should I create marketing materials, right? Because you want to increase the business. Again, 99% of people, they're not really marketing people. They may have a traditional business, but they're not marketing people. So this is why 80% of traditional businesses fail. One of the reasons is because people make an investment and they just don't know how to do any marketing. They don't know how to create anything. In MLM, you don't have to worry about that, because the company does all of that. The company has all the professionals. The company has the graphic designers, has the IT team, have the marketing team. The company is creating all these great marketing materials that you have direct access to. You just have to go buy one button, buy a whole bunch of them, and many of these things are free. They're links in the form of videos. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in promotional material for you. In all these links, beautiful links that you have access to in your back office on the YouTube. But guess what? We created it, right? And you just have to go click, like, and share. Look what's going on right here in this training. Again, if these points resonate with you, you want to make sure you blow up the chat. I want you to participate with me. I want to make sure you understand, because if you are getting the point and you're typing about it and you're commenting about it, then I know you're registering it. You're registering. So be active. Remember, this is a live call. Be active, because if you don't understand these things, then you will not be able to promote it properly to other people with other types of businesses. Or if somebody comes out and trying to say, "Oh, I don't believe in this type of business," because if you don't really understand what we're talking about today, then you won't be able to respond. But if you really understand what we're talking about today, then you can say, "Hey, let me educate you," right? Let me educate you. All right. So, marketing materials. Again, if you run a traditional business, you got to do all your own marketing. In MLM, you don't have to. If you have a traditional business that you say to yourself, how do I expand my business? Like, how do I expand it? Because one traditional business usually doesn't do you that good. Unless it's something big or whatever, it really doesn't. You need to expand. I can tell you, even with McDonald's, even with Tim Hortons, when I know people who own a McDonald's franchise, they usually own 2 or 3 of them. Or Tim Hortons owns 7, 8 of them. Because at the end of the day, depending on what your target is, the amount of money you're investing into those franchises, you're not making a lot of money. When Big Mac is on special at $2, you're not making any money on that. If anything, you're losing money on that. And the company covers some of it, you cover some of it. But it's still to get customers, and hopefully you do a good job, and hopefully they come back. So, so as a traditional business, if you ever own a traditional business, the thing to think about every single day is that, how do I expand, my business? And here in MLM, you just pick up the phone, call the next lead. Right? In MLM, you never think, how do I expand my business? You already know how to expand your business. In our business, in forensics, it's called the MoBox. Right? So just think about that one topic alone, right? If you have traditional businesses and you're trying to get your businesses going, it's a monumental task. I know traditional businesses that spend $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month on Google Ads, just so they can get some clicks to go to their businesses. I can tell you right now, I know people that go spend $7,000, $8,000 a month for companies just to optimize their website, just so they can get some traffic. You don't have that. Here, you want to get busy, you pick up the phone, you smile and dial. Instant result, instant result. You want to get busy, you pick up the phone, you call the new person, welcome the new person that got in. You share the company links with your team, get them on trainings like this. The point is, in a traditional business, you have no clue how to expand your business. So you go pay big dollars to get someone else's expertise, which rarely works, really. They're not in your business. They got a cookie cutter system they're trying to apply to everybody. Well, here, you know exactly how to expand your business. And it's customized to you. And the material, the training that we give you is customized for your business. So you can apply today. You can apply today. All right? If you guys like it, blow up the chat group. If it makes sense to you, blow up the chat group. So you got to understand that MLM is a business. A lot of people, when they come into MLM because of previous companies, they come into MLM as if it's something, I'll give it a try. Right? Okay, I'll give it a try. I tried other things before, I give it a try. That's why you try other things before, you never made it. So once you start looking at business as any type of the business, we have some advantages, but it's still a business. The principles of the business apply right here. Applies here. Once you understand that, then you start to understand the advantages that we have here. If you understood what it takes to run a traditional business versus an advanced business like MLM or e-commerce business. Once you understood the traditional businesses, then what you have to go through, I'm going to put you in the mindset. I'm going to put you right now in a traditional business mindset, making you a traditional business owner, telling you what you be thinking about every day. Once you understand what it takes to run a business, then you get to really appreciate this where you are now. Because a lot of stuff that you'd have to deal with in a traditional business is done for you right here. It's done for you right here. But if you don't know what you got to do there, all this stuff, I guess you don't recognize it, right? You don't recognize it. So again, as a traditional business, every day, how do I expand my business? How can I get more traffic in, right? Next one, how do I find new factories? Because if you're selling anything, you're always looking for better factories, unless you're selling something of a franchise or whatever, but you're always looking for new products and new factories. You always, because what was selling before is not selling now, right? Because you got your customers, you're in one location, it's the same geographic, right? So you need to keep on looking for new factories to get new products in, right? So, but to get an MLM, you don't do that. The reason why you need to do it in traditional business is because you got one location in one area, so you need new products to get the people to come back and look at your stuff. In MLM, you don't have to worry about that because the company takes care of all of that, and your business is a global business. So you don't have a location where people can come in. So you never run into a situation where you need more products. Never, never. In traditional business, you always have to look for new products. I'm telling you, always have to look for new products. Not in MLM business. You never need more products. If the company comes up with something new, that's fine. It's good. It's good because your own distributors have something else to buy. Create CV. Wonderful. Hopefully solves a problem for the market. But you don't need it. If it comes, fine. You don't need it. Traditional business, different. You need to add new products constantly. New factories, constantly. Of course, that leads into what we talked about earlier. Am I going to have good products? Is it going to be, who's going to warranty those products, right? There's a lot of challenges by adding new products that comes in, the QC. There's a lot of challenges with adding new products because now you got to know them, and there's a lot of hit and miss in that process. New factories, how can I offer warranties? So when you deal with a lot of factories, a lot of them don't even do a warranty on their products. If they do, it's very difficult to get that process done. So whether your customer comes to you in a traditional business and says, hey, didn't work, it broke, it's not what I thought it was, give my money back. So how do you, as a traditional business, how do you offer that? Big companies like, Walmart, fine. They have the staff, they have the pool, the power to get factories to take stuff back. Traditional businesses don't have that. So as a traditional, if you're selling anything, if you're going to sell a product, your customer has choices. So you're trying to give yourself an advantage by telling them it's a good product, and that you're going to back those products. If you're using a lot of factories, you really can't back those products. Even if you try to do this just to make the sale, it becomes problematic. It could become problematic. So traditional businesses constantly thinking, how can I offer warranties? Well, it's in MLM, you don't have to worry about that, right? In MLM, you don't. You guys with confidence, you go out there, promote our products, knowing that anything goes wrong, we got 100% satisfaction guarantee, 100%. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think twice about that. You can offer it out there. We got you. There's 100% satisfaction guarantee in all our products. Just think about that one alone, right? Can you 99% of I'm talking about independent businesses, right? I don't think you can at all offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. I don't think you can. Because if you do, then you're going to have to chase the factory to get any type of, response back from them. And that's a very painful process, especially these days where a lot of the products are coming from Asia or different parts of the world. How are you going to chase them down for You just very difficult, very, very difficult. You don't have to worry about that in the MLM business or in our company. So another one, how do I create return policies and warranties, right? You go there and then there are some abuse that happens. People go buy stuff, return, whatever. Then you need a return policy. If you don't have it, you're going to run into a lot of problems with your customers because you either have to take it back without a return policy, and then that's going to be a cost to you, and you could go out of business with that if you get a bad product that all of a sudden comes back to you, or you're going to run it, you either have to take it back or you'll be in conflict with them saying that you can't take it back because again, then they're not going to be happy because you don't have a return policy, right? You don't have to worry about that in MLM, right? The company has a return policy. The company has done all it. By the way, each one of those contracts in our company, I create all that stuff. I can tell, and I've written these contracts and policies for other companies before I started my own. I can tell you each contract costs $50,000 to $100,000. You have to get law firms to do these things because it's a legal matter. It's a legal matter. This is why 99.99% of traditional businesses don't have these things. It's expensive to have these things, and yet it's so vital. So you can't run a great customer satisfaction program if you don't have these things. Yet, in MLM, you don't have to worry about that. You launch your business today. You launch your shop today. You go to your back office, you have warranties, you got guarantees, you got policy and procedures, you got compensation plan, you got privacy, you got all of these things that a traditional business would require. By the way, if you wanted to open up an Amazon store, you still need all of those things. An Amazon store, maybe e-commerce, is still a traditional business. So when you open up an Amazon store, eBay store, you still need to offer all of these things yourself. Where in an MLM business, you don't have to do that. The company has all of those things and handles all of those things because it's the company offering all of those things, not you personally. So, and a lot of factories that traditional businesses use, they use many factories, and maybe a few have some type of guarantee, if something breaks or whatever. Even that process is very painful. And if it's a smaller item, if it's a few $1,000s, okay, maybe there's some type of warranty, but smaller items, usually don't. So you're going to lose customers, right? But those are the things, because once you get a few returns in a traditional business, then you see that it pinches your pocket, then you become worried about accepting any more returns. And if you don't have a return policy and warranties and guarantees, then you lose business. And of course, this is part of the reason 80% of the traditional businesses fail. They fail. Now imagine, since you launched your shop with Opulence, you never thought about any of these things 1 second, right? You never thought about it 1 second because you knew the company handles everything. By the way, again, I see there's a lot more people on YouTube than likes, so scroll down and make sure you click that like button, comment, share, all that great stuff. So every single day, as an Opulence brand partner, an MLM distributor, you don't have to walk on the hot coals that the rest of the business world walks on. I'm just sharing some of them with you. There's a lot more we're going to talk about. So it's absolutely abundantly clear that how this MLM platform is the absolute best. It's the most pristine method of distribution and method of doing business. It's the most pristine business idea of all time. Look at how many problems that it solves. Just, you never thought about it because a lot of you never ran a business before. But if you were like me and you run a pizza business, I had a pizza business, restaurant business, we didn't have warranties and get written because we couldn't afford it. To be honest, we didn't even know what it was. But if somebody came back, they didn't like the pizza or what it was, we had to honor it. In other words, take a hit for it. We took a hit for it. You never think twice about all of this. If you like this, blow up the chat group. Because you know what? You can come out with full confidence. offering the products in full confidence without you worrying 1 second about backing up all those amazing benefits that you get. So show me some love. Show me some power here. Let's continue here. Let's continue. So return policies. If you own a traditional business, you always be thinking, okay, how do I provide quick service or I don't know, a quick delivery? You're always wondering, how do I? Because some of these traditional businesses, it's not a product that somebody comes and picks up, right? Sometimes you want to ship it out. Sometimes it's a service you provide, right? Maybe it's some of the trade that you run. You always worry about how can I increase my speed? How can I become more efficient? Because at the end of the day, it's you trying to organize all of that. In MLM, we never think about that because the company has a guarantee, the company does all that, the company has a format, the company has a system. In our business, 98.9% of all orders that comes in ships out the very same day. The very same day. If you had some type of mail order business or a website that you ship products to, you're going to have a lot of problems trying to organize all of that. So even if you had your own eBay business, right, or Amazon business, you're constantly thinking, what's the cheapest way I can ship out? Because shipping is expensive. You're always thinking about talking to different providers, right? You're always talking about, the packaging. You're always thinking, what's the cheapest way, the fastest way to do something? You're always trying to improve that on that process because it's eating up on your bottom line. When was the last time you thought about your MLM business or openness business? You didn't. You didn't. Because we do all of that for you. And we're consistent at it. Even if you start an e-commerce business, guess what? You have to worry about all of those things. Not here. Not here. It's all done for you. Those are our headaches. You do what, $500 million in business, $500 million with the B business last 30 years. You learn a lot. You learn a lot. So you get the benefit of it. You launch your shop. It's all done for you. You come in, you launch, you go, you talk, you sell, you share, right? And you never think twice about the operational side of it because it's all done for you. So if you're in a traditional business, another question is how do I price compete, right? How do I price compete with other people who are selling the same product? Could be exact same product or similar product. We don't in MLM, do you? The company has, we have a manufacturer suggest a retail price, and we enforce that. And you don't have to worry about, that, someone's in the city selling cheaper. Very rarely, big companies, you're going to get something show up somewhere, and we deal with it. But in a traditional business, that's something to think about with every customer. Every customer is saying, hey, I can find the same thing cheaper somewhere else. Every customer. Imagine you deal with this, have to deal with every day. Every single day a customer walks in, they're looking at the price and they're comparing it to somebody else, selling the same thing for less money. You don't worry about that here. If you had traditional business, that's the discussion with every single customer that walks in every single day. That is a real headache. That's a real headache. Here, you don't worry about that here. You come in, you buy, how much is the manufacturer suggest a retail price, you go. And that's the price for your market. That's the price for your market. If you're in a traditional business, you're thinking, how do we provide customer service? Right? Because businesses are not customer service people. You need professionals for that. People can buy and sell. You're not customer service people yourselves, right? You can buy and sell, but provide customer service. That's a big deal. That's a big word. That's a professional trade. See, if you run a traditional business, you have to learn how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. They think being nice is customer service. And I guess being nice is part of a customer service, but it's a lot more than that. When things start to break down, it's a wrong product. It's a there's a defect. There's a lot to be done. The processes, the forms, the policies. So there's a question that you always have as a traditional business. Okay, how can I make my customer service better so I can keep my customers, right? You don't think about that here, right? You don't think about it. You should now. You should have your own, which means be nice and follow up and listen. But at the end of the day, if there is a service to be done, you're confident that the company will take care of it. The company's got your back. The company has you. You push with your entire heart, knowing that, hey, if I need help, the company's there and they got me. You don't get that in traditional businesses. I'm telling you, you have all experienced so many times. You go to a business, you get disappointed. Why? Because there's something not right with your order or the whole experience, and you expect them to do something about it, and there's nothing they can do for you, right? If you've experienced this, let me see it in the chat. Blow up the chat group. If you experience that you've gone to businesses and something wasn't right, and you tried to get some service and they had nothing for you, if you experience, let me see, you've got it. Lord, so yes, it's happened to me. Yeah, it happens all the time. It happens all the time, right? Well, you don't have to worry about that. When was the last time you heard something negative about our business or MLM businesses? We do things the same way over and over again. Even when something happens outside our control, we step in 9 out of 10 times to fix the problem. Imagine if you had to deal with that yourself in the traditional businesses, right? It's horrible. Like, we've covered a lot of things, but you have to deal with all those things every single day. You thought this is tough? You thought running an MLM business is tough? Are you kidding me? You have to deal with the stuff I've been talking about every single day. That's tough. That's tough, right? All right. So let's continue moving forward. Media attention, right? If you're running a traditional business, you're thinking, okay, how do I get some media, right? How can I get some attention? It's impossible unless you're going to spend a ton of money, right? You're not going to get media attention, right? Let's just face it, 99.9% of business don't get media attention unless you're going to spend a ton of money. You don't worry about that in MLM businesses. We all have media attention. The company has the money, especially in our business. We're the most decorated company on the planet. We got a book this thick, 300 celebrities, dignitaries, all over the world. Hollywood, Bollywood, Nollywood, every wood there is. We have customers. We have customers there is. How many TV shows, right? How many articles? American Business Journal, Ernst & Young. I mean, so if you have the traditional businesses, try to get some media action. Ain't gonna happen. But companies, they make it happen. And you can use that as your third party influence, third party credibility, right? All right. So next, third party endorsement and support. Yeah, we just talked quite quickly about third party endorsement and support, but this is a little bit different. In MLM, you want your customer to buy the product, or if you want someone to join your business, what do you use? Use the upline, right? 3-way call. You use your sideline. Use your customers' testimonials. In MLM, you got tons and tons and tons and tons of endorsement to sell your product and to get people on board. You don't have that in traditional businesses. Who's going to endorse your business? Who, your competition? So it's just not going to happen. In a traditional business, you're really alone. You're really, really alone. Not only you have no endorsement, you have a lot of competition bash you. So everybody around you, they're going to bash you. Oh, no, that stuff, no. So that's the life of a traditional business. It's tough enough to try to get sales. And then now you have to defend yourself of the silliness that your competition puts out too. Not in MLM. You want to sell the product? We have groups of 15,000 people in 100 countries, like the Fountain of Life group on Facebook, right? How many testimonies are there? We have these tours all week long, different languages, different time zones. How much endorsement do you want? They're talking about your product. They're talking about your business. You have tons of endorsements and support in MLM. You get none of that in traditional business. If anything, they're bashing you. The people who are selling your product, maybe you guys are selling, two different shops are selling the same product. You think they're saying good things about you? No. They're saying everything that they can to say that they're better. They're making stories about you as an operator, right? They're making stories about your customer service. So look at the difference between it. I mean, I could take every one of these points and what a difference in the world it is, right? It's just we're in a completely different stratosphere as any other form of business. Collection and submission of taxes. Here's a scary one, right? Here's a scary one. Anything you sell, doesn't matter what country you're in, but guess what? If you own a business, you have a solemn duty to collect taxes, whether you like it or not. So you become the government's employee, except you don't get paid. You don't get paid, and they're going to scrutinize you, and they're going to look at you as if you're stealing from them, and they're going to audit you. And not only you don't get paid to collect the taxes for the government, they're also going to cost you a whole bunch of legal fees to do it. Because accounting, professional fees, you need it. So in a traditional business, every single day, the question is, hopefully we don't make a mistake on collection of these taxes. If you're doing it right, in many businesses kind of try to find ways to, not to do the solemn duty, because, anyway, it's a real reality in a traditional businesses, which is collection and submission of taxes. Many businesses get in trouble. Many businesses, because what happens is that they collect the taxes, but then they're not making the ends meet, or somehow they make a mistake. Sorry, guys, they're making a mistake, and so then they're worried about when it comes time to pay the bill, they just don't have the money. Of course, they get in trouble. One of the main reasons why businesses go bankrupt is because of taxes. You all know that, right? One of the main reasons why businesses go bankrupt is because of taxes. And we're not talking one tax or two. There's a lot of different taxes, right? Of course, you got a consumer tax, which is when you buy and sell stuff. Then you have... So let's take that phone call, Mom. Sorry, guys. So my mother's calling me. I want to make sure she's okay. But Sanaz is going to deal with that. Thank you. So the tax is a serious problem right now for businesses, and the number one reason why traditional businesses close. You never think twice about that in MLM, do you? You don't. But first of all, when you buy products, it's not taxable because you're buying it, you're using it, right? And when you bought from us, we actually pay the taxes on your behalf, not the income tax. I'm talking about the consumer tax, the PSTs and GSTs, right? So it's already paid for. You paid us, right? You paid us in the product. When you bought it, you paid us. We do the collection and we do the submission. If you're outside Canada, you don't have to worry about this stuff. So don't get confused. Because if you're in Canada, we're doing all that for you. If you're outside Canada, you don't have to worry about this stuff. All right. So of course you have to worry about your income tax outside Canada, but then talk to an accountant. There's a lot of great ways to reduce that, to deal with that as well. We won't get into that now. All right. So taxation is the number one reason why traditional businesses fail. You don't have to worry about that here. Another year. Hire more staff. Traditional businesses, as okay, you start as a one-man band. If you do a good job, if you have a good service, then inevitably the business is going to expand. As a business expands, what do you need? More staff, right? More staff, bigger office, bigger warehouse, then more staff, then more staff, then more hiring, then more fire, more staff, right? So as the business gets bigger, so you have to hire more staff. In this business, you don't have to worry about that, do you? Do you think you have any Rene Liao? You know, he's had months. He has months that he does seven-figure volume in 30 days. Seven-figure volume, Reza. Seven-figure volume in 30 days. Do you think he has any more staff than you? No. You don't have any staff. Neither does he. He doesn't have. So whether Renee's business was doing $10,000 a month or a million, 2, 3 million a month, he doesn't need any staff because we spend $3 million on our software that does all the work for you, and we have 3 warehouses around the world that with staff, fully staffed, that are waiting to take your order and do all that work for you. If your business scales up from a million to 10 million a month, you don't need any more staff. We do, but you don't need any more staff, right? The company does it for you. How awesome is that? What other business do you know you can scale at 10x, and you don't have to expand your office? You have to expand your staffing or professional fees or anything. There is no other business in the world that does that. Imagine your business goes 100x and you still do the same thing as it was at day one because the software, the system takes care of everything for you. Of course, you don't have to do it because we're doing it in the background. We're the one adding developers, adding more accountants, bigger distribution centers, bigger offices, more customer service people. We're the one doing all of that in the background, developing our software program. We're the one dealing with logistics. We're doing all of that. That's why you don't have to do it yourself. If you have traditional business, though, you are me. You're going to have to do all of that yourself. Of course, you can't do it all yourself. Then you're going to hire people, right? They're going to hire more people. So you can take a traditional business from 100,000 to $1 million a year. If you take a business from 100 to $1 million a year, you probably have to, double or triple your staff. Minimum double, maybe triple. You did more time work on this. Triple your staff. Then you can take your MLM business, go from 100,000 to $1 million a year, and you don't have to double anybody. You don't have to hire anybody. You have to fire anybody. If that's awesome, below the chat group, say that's awesome. That's awesome. Because some of you guys will be doing 10 million a month in business, maybe eventually $100 million a month in business, and you still don't have to hire anybody. Do you know any other business that you can say that with? You can't. You can't, right? You can't do that. This is the only business that happens. Blow up the chat group. So that tells me that you're paying attention. All right. So we talk about hiring staff. So collections of mistakes. So hire staff, fire staff. You don't have to do any of that. That job falls on this and that. So another disadvantage of a traditional business is a physical operation versus a mobile web. So you've always heard about that. The business owns the person, right? You've always heard about that. The business owns the person. The person's working day and night. I do that. I used to be at the office at 3, 4, 5 in the morning because I have a traditional business. You don't, but I have a traditional business. I have to go to work, right? To make things happen, So, and here's the thing. You have to stay at the office because that's where the work gets done. You can do some emails and stuff being away, but our work is in the shop. is in the warehouse, is in the office. So we have to be there putting long hours and not being able to take time off and those things. We got to go to a physical location. Traditional business, you have to go to that physical location because it's a physical business. Not MLM. It's a mobile virtual business. You can do it from anywhere. You can do it from your home. You can do it from a cruise. You can do it from a 30,000 feet up in the air. Now they have Wi-Fi down there. You can do it on vacation. You can go to someone's house and do it there, right? Right? You can do it. You're in MLM. You can do it anywhere you want. Not a traditional business. You go to work. That's the term of going to work because it's a physical location. You have to go to the physical location. The next thing is high expenses versus, well, low expenses, right? It costs a lot to operate a business. It costs a lot to start a business. Let's talk about that. An average franchise is about $500,000 each. An average franchise. Average traditional business is about $150,000 to $200,000 each, right? This is a traditional business, right? And it costs a lot to maintain that. Rent is high, everything is high, staffing, taxes, all kinds of stuff, right? But it's not expensive to start an MLM business. A couple of grand, you're up and running. Maintenance is nothing. You're working from home using Wi-Fi, right? You're using your phone. So a couple of $100 a month, right? A couple $100 a month, a couple of grand to start, a couple $100 a month. Anyone can do that. Then you have to travel. You travel, and there's some expenses there, but you're making money, right? It's part of the deal, right? It's not a fixed expense. It's there when you can afford it, right? In traditional businesses, it's a fixed expense, the rent and all those things stuff. You can't get away from it. You can't say, well, I have a bad month, don't pay the rent. But that doesn't happen in traditional businesses. But in MLM business, you don't have no fixed. You don't have nothing. There's no fix because you start with a couple of grand and then you work it from home or you work it on e-commerce, on the web, on a smartphone. There's no fixed expenses. A couple of $100 a month for the products to use and sell. Amazing. In MLM, you never think about, once you launch your MLM business, you never think twice about it again. But when you launch your traditional businesses, you're thinking from day one. You just went and spent $250,000 on the franchise or $150,000 on traditional businesses. From day one, you're thinking rent in 30 days. Rent in 30 days. You don't think about that in this business. See the differences, guys? So you don't know any of this stuff if you never ran a business. Even the people who ran a business, I find people have short thinking, short memories. They forget how bad it was, right? Sometimes people come here and they nitpick on the little things, and you have to remind them what the previous business was like. They're like, yeah. So you forget. So I never forgot my restaurant business. I never forgot that. I never forgot anywhere I worked, whether it was for myself or for somebody else. I don't forget how tough things was. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. If you ever run a business, traditional business, and you know it's tough, or you work for someone who ran a traditional businesses, and you ran the business, to write down in the chat group for me, how tough was it? If you ever work for someone else's business, how tough is it to run that business? It's tough, right? You don't have to worry about any of those things here. If you work for another employer who has a traditional business, how many people, if it's a good-sized business, how many people do you see around you? A lot. How many times does the owner talks about expenses? A lot. Because it's expensive, right? But you don't hear that here. In the meetings we have you ever heard somebody says, oh, I'm worried about my rent this month in my business, my MLM rent this month, or my business rent, my uplift rent? You don't hear that. You don't have a rent. You work from home. How many times have you heard, oh, it's so expensive to operate my MLM business? You don't hear that. It's not. $150 a month, $200 a month. It's not. If you have a traditional business, though, that's a topic every single hour. I'm telling you, it's every single hour. All right, let's continue. High startup with a low start. We talked about that already. Marketing budget. High marketing budget versus low marketing budget. If we talked about a little bit earlier, if you have to if you decide a traditional business that you want to scale it up, prepare to spend money. Corporations, they allocate up to 30% of their budget on marketing. Did you know that? 30%, up to 30%. So you got a multi-billion-dollar corporation that will go spend $300, $400, $500 million or more on marketing. Look at Nike. They paid Jordan $1 billion to promote the one shoe, right? $1 billion. And that's just one guy. They have so many of these guys, right? So corporations, businesses, this marketing budget is a very expensive. If you want to build a big business, right? Marketing budget is a very, very expensive part. If you have a franchise, you know all about that every single week because the franchise decides that they're going to do marketing. You have to pay a portion of it. So it's constantly. All the ads that you see on internet and on TV, that's a marketing, costs a ton of money. What do they charge for Super Bowl? It's like $30-40 million for like 30-second commercial. Marketing budget is really, really, really expensive. Really, really expensive. Over here, not really. Not really. Okay, if you want to do something on Instagram or on Facebook, okay, maybe it's a couple $100 a month. You could do a couple $100 a week if you want to consistently do something. It's not that expensive. And part of the reason why we don't need big marketing budgets is because we build a team, and our team is expanding, is doing our marketing for us. So if you got a team right now of, 500 people, 50 people, 20 people, guess what? They're the one that's marketing for you. So this week you're going to have a new team member, new shop launched, or somebody's going to sell products tomorrow, products the next day. Every time a CV comes up, somebody did marketing in your organization right now this week, and you got the CV. That means the sales got made because somebody did the marketing. And how much it cost you for that sale? How much? Tell me how much. How much it cost you for the CV that showed up in your back office this week in MLM? Tell me. Let me see if you guys know. How much did you spend? Didn't cost you anything. Didn't cost you anything. Right? Is everyone sleeping or what? Because I don't see anything happening here for at least last 3 seconds. Let's blow up the chat group so I know that you're not sleeping on me here. There's so much more to talk about, so I'm just going to rush through it, right? All right, so we talk about retail income. Okay, so market budget. High risk versus low risk. Traditional businesses, 80% fail. It's high risk because high investment. MLM business, low investment, low risk. So that's a major main reason why people don't start business is because of the risk factor. High risk versus low risk. Let's talk about high stress versus no stress, basically, because the company has all the stress, right? We got the stress. So you guys are the traditional business, you are me. You got all the stress, right? MLM business, no stress. How cool is that? These are major things, guys. These are major things that you don't have to, you don't have to walk on the hot coals in MLM, in opulence that everyone else does outside is running a traditional business, right? High stress versus low or no stress. In traditional businesses, how many myths of income they have? One, retail, right? They make retail income, right? What do? Multiple incomes. In our company, 12. 12. All of that, high stress, high expenses, high startup, one method of income. Here, multiple. MLM, multiple. In traditional businesses, local income because you got a location somewhere and you get people that happen to be in the area, right? MLM, business beyond borders. global income, international income. So you pay all of those things we talked about to get one income locally. So if there's a local economic collapse in the city or country, whatever, the business gets shut down. We just saw that with COVID. If you got a restriction in your area, or your Philippines or whatever, then you're closed, right? You're closed. MLM never closes. we never close. We're open for business all the time. So next one is physical versus virtual, right? You got a physical location there, and then we talked about this earlier. You have to actually go to a location. Well, with us and do the actual physical work with us, it's virtual and a software that does all the work. Now, who did the software? Was it you or was it me? Me. It cost me over $3 million to build a software that you got for free as part of your package. And that software does all the work for you. So every single week, the software manages your entire business. Your entire business. Every single, anybody sneezes, the software picks it up, does all the computation, and on Tuesday, gives you a check, puts in your e-wallet, gets you on your card, you go to the ATM, and you're living it up. So we have a full IT team. There's a group of 10 IT individuals working there between graphics and IT every single day, so you guys can not have to worry about that. Right? Traditional business, though, you don't have this multi-million-dollar platform that does everything for you. And what you got to do, you actually have to go and do the physical work yourself and do the physical accounting yourself. It's tough. Even for big businesses, they don't have, even big businesses don't have this technology that we've created in 16 years. So, or the companies have. So it's a lot of physical manual work. Man, there's so much to talk about. You like it or what? You love it? Tell me, you like it or love it? Good or great? Put it in the chat. Good or great? I see the power going here. Awesome. All right. So sell versus share. In a traditional business, you sell products or services. You sell it. You got to sell that service or that product. And then you do it when a customer comes in, because when they come in, you got to pounce on that customer, right? In MLM, we don't do that. In MLM, it's kind of a lifestyle thing. Everybody's a customer, so we share testimonials with everybody. The person said hello, you say FOL. So with us, it's not like certain customers that we're waiting for a customer to come in. As soon as they walk in, and we just pounce over them to try to sell. We don't do that. That's traditional business. With us, we talk to everybody, we share, right? We share, and who is interested, and that's when we sell the product. Self versus others. In a traditional business, it's all about you. It's about paying your rent, your staff, making profits. It's almost about you. You don't even care about your staff, really, because of your staff. You pay them anyways, and that's the salary, right? So it's all about you, not MLM. It's exactly the opposite. It's about others. It's about others. You help a lot of other people, giving up on what they want, you get what you want. What a beautiful concept. You like that concept? You like that concept? In the traditional businesses, it's all about the owner. It's all about the owner, right? MLM, nope. It's about others. Because if the others are not successful, then we can't be successful. I love this stuff. I love it. You love this stuff? Give me some hearts. Because this stuff is good stuff. All right. Trade education versus business and personal education. So when you run a business, traditional business, how can you learn your trade? Whatever that trade is. But as a person, you're not evolving. As a person, you're not learning anymore. You're the same person that you were before, because you constantly do the same trade over and over again. Not MLM. MLM develops you as a person, builds your foundation, self-development. Not only is business development in general, not a specific trade development. No, it is business development. It includes taxes, marketing, health. It goes on, fashion, personal development. Look, you're connected to multimillionaires who are talking to you for free. Free. Traditional business says you want that type of help, you better pay $100,000 for consultants, right? In traditional business, you want that type of help, you got to hire companies to do that. Big money, big money. Here, it's all for free. I love this business. I love this business. Let's continue. Trade education versus business and personal education. And we talked about that already. Create customers versus customers, associates, and friends. So if you're in traditional businesses, you're trying to find customers, right? You're only looking for customers, right? In MLM, we look for customers and we look for business associates. The traditional businesses don't give you that choice, right? Because we can find customers and we can recruit people and we make friends. I don't know how many traditional business people say, oh, I got a lot of friends in my customers. I got a lot of friends. They don't. With my suppliers, they don't. I'm a lot of friends with my factory. They don't. If anything, they're fighting on the phone all the time, trying to get a discount or something went wrong in the product, look for warranty, something. There is no friendship happening in traditional businesses, right? So here, not only we get customers, we help some of those customers become associates, right? So and we recruit, and we also make a lot of friends because it's just the whole nature of the business is about family and culture. And you love this. I love those hearts, by the way, guys. I love the colorful hearts are coming up. You guys are awesome. I don't know. I can't see what's going on Zoom. If they're just as awesome, let me take a look here. Zoom, they're awesome, but no. YouTube, you guys are rocking it. Zoom, you're falling behind, You're falling way behind. You need to blow that up a lot better. The YouTube crew here is killing it. You should see the call. I'll take a picture of this thing. This is awesome. Actually, let me the Zoom folks to see what I'm seeing. So maybe Zoom folks can get some idea. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, YouTube. Go ahead. Show them how it's done. All right. Right. So let's continue. We're almost there. Stay with me. You're almost there. So, and what are we at? Create customer. Okay. Limited versus freedom. When you're traditional business, you're very limited because the business dictates your time, right? Not here. You got complete freedom with your time, where you want to do your business, who you want to work with, when you want to work with them, when to retire, when not to retire, when to work, when not to work. You have none of that in a traditional business. Even successful ones. Okay, YouTube people, you guys are really showing off now. Look at all these colorful stuff that's coming up. That's awesome. You guys are really showing off now. You want to show off. Wonderful. Keep it going. I'm loving this. So, when you're a traditional business, it is really limited. It's really, really limited on, you're limited, but not MLM. You're not limited at all. You can do your business any which way you want to do it. And the last thing, fixed versus scalable. So we tell traditional businesses, very difficult to scale, very difficult, because you have to do the whole process all over again, right? All over again. It could take months or years, even if you have the money to do it. It's a fixed business. It is what it is, right? Not MLM. Tomorrow is a different business because we recruited 2 more. The next day, look at you guys. Even Ronan's getting into the game. I think there's a competition going on over here. It's like Halloween, who's got a better costume? They're coming out with these fancy hearts. And I'm loving this. We got to save this video. This is awesome. So with MLM, every day is a different business because tomorrow you go find more customers, it's a different business. You can't do that with traditional. Tomorrow you go launch 2 more people. That's 2 more businesses you just launched, and your team launched 15 more people. And then this month your team launched 150 more people all over the world. Your business just changed. You can't do that in traditional business. This scales the minute you answer the phone or you pick up the phone. You can't do that with traditional businesses. Look at the time. We're way over time. But you know what? I was sitting to myself. I said, if I had a traditional business, life would be tough. And I started thinking to myself, all these different reasons how this is so much superior. That's okay. It's too many. I got to write it down. As I was writing this down, I couldn't stop writing. Honestly, I could come up with a lot more stuff. Oh, Zoom woke up. Looks like it. So, I could have kept on writing the advantages that we have in MLM over traditional business. I said, I need to do this training so you can take this link and send it to traditional business owners and say, look, it's better here. We have it better here. We have it better here. Here's Zoom, guys. Look at these. Look what's going on over. So it's better here. And I figure if I share with you guys some of the advantages here, at least A, you get a better appreciation of what you have in your hands, and B, you can perhaps educate people a little bit better. So with that, Arthur, I'm going to pass the call back to you. It was a lot to talk about. I was trying to rush through it. There's probably more we could say. I'm not in a rush, so if people want to share some stuff, I'm here to listen.
Robin, let me see if I'm unmuted.
You are.
You know, it is so refreshing and consoling hearing you on that subject, because you would not believe it. Before I came to this call, I just had a traditional business meeting with my family, and they are all directors in our business. And almost every one of those points you raised up here tonight is pretty much some of our concerns right now. We are getting ready to receive this cruise ship. We have been down for almost 2 years in terms of the pandemic. We had to get rid of all of our staff and pay them off. Now we are thinking of getting staff back. We are thinking of, almost every aspect. The product, we have to get the product up to speed. We have rental down at the dock, so we have to be thinking about that. The traffic that's coming in right now, the government is putting restrictions, and they want us not to be able to mingle with the guests, so they are putting new things in place. So now we are concerned about trafficking, the competition on the island. Even tonight we're talking about our pricing, because whilst we are trying to deal with this whole scenario, we have to think of product pricing. The marketing material. We are thinking of going to the hotels, but we don't have enough marketing material. Expansion. How do we expand in this pandemic? Everything you spoke about here, whilst you're going through it, I'm like, oh my God. The only persons that kind of appreciate this, I think, are people who are not in traditional business. If you never had a traditional business, you would not have, a taste, or you have an appreciation for what you are sharing here tonight. But you are right on point, because this is exactly what we are dealing with. I'm saying we as a family business, a traditional family business, is exactly what we are dealing with right now. So hearing this from you now tonight and doing the contrast and all of that, it's like, oh my God. If I can have appreciation for MLM, for what I'm in right now, I think you have just by hope. You've really done that.
Appreciate that. You know what? I want to actually take a picture of this thing, but then I know I'm gonna get kicked out. But if I get kicked out, you know what I'm doing here. So go ahead and close the call for us.
Awesome. Well, I really want to thank all of you guys who are on the call tonight. I do hope that what our CEO has shared with you, you have really appreciated your business right now, and you can really see and understand that MLM it's not perfect, it's just better.
Are you watching what's going on YouTube? These guys, I think it's Canada Day, so fireworks going on YouTube. If you guys on Zoom, you should, just for fun, just get another device and go on YouTube and see what's going on. They're having a lot of fun, these guys.
Well, they have all the gadgets, they have all of the emojis there, so I guess it's a lot easier for them to pop out all of those colors. Wow, the Christmas tree, like.
I love it.
You did a fantastic job tonight, as usual, but I really love the fact that you hit it right on the nail. In terms of, exactly the contrast. So just before we close out, I just really want to give a few notices so persons know what to look forward to. Number one, the Innovative Conference is coming up on the 27th, so get your early bird ticket. You really need to do that. Be there and make sure that you tap in very, very early to get the freebies. November to Remember promotion. The face mask is on, and you buy one and get one free, so you don't want to miss that at all. And also, want to tell you, you need to go and vote. And if you haven't voted yet, you definitely need to vote. Think of this training tonight. Think of this company tonight. Think of the where you are, and the CEO, the founder, is taking his time to be here with us and to give us that type of training. You definitely need to go and vote if you haven't voted, because this is the best company in direct sales for 2022. So you definitely need to go and vote. And on Saturday, we have a special training. You don't want to miss this one. It's a forensic training by the queen herself of forensic, next to Robin. You want to make sure you are in for this special treat on Saturday's live training. So make sure you are logged in. But from me to you, from the beautiful, scenic, exotic, and romantic island in the Caribbean, Robin, I really want to say on behalf of all of the business partners on the call here tonight, we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for this powerful time that you're taking with us and this awesome training.
You're welcome. I guess this vote, I heard about it the other day. So what's this about, Arthur?
Well, we are really at a point where the Better Business for Home.com is actually asking persons to go out and vote for the best top direct selling company for 2020.
Go represent. Go represent.
2022.
Yeah, go represent.
So we want to pull out the best of the best. And we need your vote, because if you are in Opulence Global, there is no way. There is no way. You just can't miss out on the fact that we are the best out there, the best decorated company in MLM. So you really want to go out and vote. So make sure that the CEO, the founder, is raised high, because he deserves it. Definitely.
And another thing too, Arthur, I appreciate that. We got to get a lot of people on this call, on the Monday night call. There's a lot goes on.
Absolutely.
You know, Sanaz and David, I mean, they got an intense call. We have a lot of fun here, and sometimes intense, but you need the stuff. You need the stuff. You know, as a part-timer, you need to put 15, 20 hours a week anyways. This is a couple of good hours you could spend to educate and elevate yourself during that week. So don't miss it. Make sure that everybody that comes in next week bring at least one new member or one new networker on this call. Let's double our numbers for next week.
Absolutely. Last night's call was awesome, and the numbers were up, but we can still do better.
Wonderful. All right. Have a good night, everyone, and stay forensic.
I know you said you were tired, so now is a good time for you to log out.
All right, team. Love you guys. YouTube. YouTube did very good.
You guys have a good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. We are logging off now.
Bye, Zoom. Good night. Stay forensic.
Stay forensic.
YouTube, you guys rocked it. Congratulations for that. Make sure that we jam-pack the house next week. Share the link, like, subscribe, hit the bell button, make it blue. Make sure that you get our notification. Comments, when I shut this off, make a bunch of comments. And again, like I said, right away, share the link with a bunch of your team, different chat groups, and make sure they don't miss it. This link should also go to your prospects who are having traditional businesses. Let them see the difference that we have here versus what they work on. I come from a traditional business background. We definitely have some advantages that they can also benefit from. And they could do this part-time until they're ready to move on full-time into this platform. With that, stay forensic. See you next week.